see 43 billion gallons of oil filled in the Atlantic Ocean. Exxon Valdez, we highly heard incident which led to OPA 90 in the year 1989 in the Alaskan waters. 58 million gallon was the cargo carried and amount of oil filled is 10.9 million gallons. In the year 1991, happened in Italy. So here it is about 10,000 tons of estimated spill. Katrina B at Mozambique, in the year 1992. So there again 13,000 tons and later another 3,000 tons. The vessel was beached for due to stability reasons and that has led to the spill. Next is Morris Berman in Puerto Rico in the year 19. So there it is about 750,000 gallons of heavy oil. This was Amalgor at Venezuela in the year 1997. 25,000 barrels of heavy oil spilled into the country. Erika incident is again another known incident in Bay of Biscay in the year 1999. So the boats were not ready. There were structural damage, the leak of oil. The boats were not ready to allow. The ship subsequently sank, spilling about 31,000 tons of oil. Treasure Atlantic at US. Apparently, in this vessel, a crew member had informed the US Coast Guard of the oil leak from the hull. The master was imprisoned. Next is Prestige in 2002 in Spain. Estimated amount of 67,000 50,000 tons of oil. Last month, of Karachi, 30,000 tons of oil. So now with these casualties, many casualties, we could definitely say over the years, Marco has fulfilled this role. It is one of the most successful conventions today, 150 signatories, which correspond to about 98.8% of the world index. It is known to be the second pillar of the maritime regulation framework. So deserved attention when we talk, it is the stakeholders and more of the cost implication of the ship owners. And of course, it is passed on to the government. So now, 50 years celebration definitely is a legacy and is encouraging the adoption of new measures which are already in the pipeline, as we all are getting to hear about the decarbonization regulations, which is like our chief has mentioned, is a proactive regulation than the other reactive ones. So today, I brought in some insights of the fines and detentions, how things are the USPG and AMSA, more of criminalization of market violations. Again, that brings a lot of mental agony and stress on the seafaring community. Then we will also touch upon the compliance part with respect to the SOX and the laws. So, as you know, the regulations are quite stringent. Any regulation for that matter, and Marco is not an exception. So, the crew training becomes a major challenge. And this training is not only the operation of the equipment, but when we say training, it is also about how things are handled and in front of a post-state control inspector, how it is managed and the compliance is shown to them. That is where we have a lot of challenges on the ship manager point of view. Because though the record keeping and the complaints are in place, even nowadays the black state administrations are very proactive, and then the vessel goes to strict PSA regimes like Paris MOU or ANSA or United States. So they do a lot of diligence checks. They in fact directly communicate with the vessel, which is a good thing. But again, end of the day, it is the seafarers who are directly facing the heat of the fire. And there are challenges, especially the oil requirement increase, the garbage requirement. So incidents of late where Hong Kong PSC has fined one of our ships for the irregular oil requirement increase. And there are two cases where the archive of the ORP was not available on board. As you all know, the requirement is to have at least 3 years of the archive. Ambition of net zero in 2050. There is also an advancement, so it is very nicely devised. Here there is a cost implication or compliance to cover. And the technological upgradation of the existing states, we already discussed, port state control inspections, and also the global consistency, the local application and the interpretation of codes, especially when we go to China, PSC, or even many other countries where the local interpretation, of course, are additional and more stringent. Now, the EGA area itself has a larger area than the IMO non-port requirement, as we all know. So it becomes very challenging sometimes. The agent, it is just published as a circular and not communicated to the vessel by the agent. So they think it is imperative, and there are a lot of challenges there these days.
Okay, when we talk about the detentions and the fines, famous OWS related problems, the magic five, needless to mention, we have covered enough, especially with the United States Coast Guard. And we also have incidents of improper discharge of sludge and capacity of sludge tank, respect to the ROT. There is sometimes no discharge facility and inadequate incineration on board as well sometimes. And the next will be the garbage violations and Annex 5. So, lack of again disposal facility. Yes, we have a system in place to report IMO and things are there, but still there are some implementation issues there also. And costs again, disposal, some places it's very elevated levels. So they even charge up to $1,500 for a cubic, and ship management company becomes a challenge, convince the owners and implementation challenge there. And I also already mentioned about the misleading entries in the ORP. Inspection of the overboard discharges from sewage, storm wells, and also the wash waters from the exhaust gas carbons. Fuel sampling and analysis reports, BDNs, and related issues. The sulfur content after the global 2020 regulations. So there are a lot of challenges. The charters pushing the vessel. Sulfur content is 0.51% and dilute and use. So a lot of challenges there. So we tend to consult with our PNIs and take this up. And they also come up with some ISO. They try to convince the owners as long as it is compliant ISO 8217 requirements. Second, I already told you about this fuel changeover issues for SOx and NOx tier 3 compliance. So technical violations, even the residual fuel samples from the systems after the changeover. We, of course, the LRS come up with the Tobas calculator, which we are using. And again, there is some interpretation issues with the seafarers, lack of training. A lot of attention is required from the manager's side, which we are doing for the implementation of it. There are also cases where there have been deliberate use of wrong grade of fuel because of the confusions, like in Paris MOU, they say after 2 hours after berthing, we are supposed to change. But then the interpretation is that when you come you are already in the port and you have to change the cases account. So as a general rule, we always say it's better to change before arrival. But again, there is a cost. Extra fuel consumption, NGO, that also becomes a problem. So talking about criminalization, all pollution incidents are considered a criminal offense, leading to criminal liabilities in many of the countries, including the United States. So it is not only the pollution, it is also property damage and personal injury, loss of life, mental agony, fisheries, a whole lot of things which comes in, the environment related. So the sentences can be jail sentence for the master and chief engineer, which we have seen in many cases, like AVs related. So the sentence can be up to 5 years, which we have seen, and corporate fines of more than $500,000. The owners again are found guilty, though of course, if it is a true offense, the owners are very much into the. Must have heard of incidents where the entire fleet ban ban of vessels to call for a particular period of time. So that impacts huge cost and implications on the trade. Prosecutions are on the rise, but yes, we have to also thank. You can see the incidents have come down largely, especially with respect to oil spills and other things. But the after heat is still felt, and it is getting worse every day. Most of the times, the vessels are allowed to sail with a security demand, but the seafarers are left till the trial is over. Fines are getting larger day by day. Court ordered and enforced compliance programs. And you must have heard about this whistleblowers. In one of the incidents I shared, also crew members reporting to US program. So that is also on the increase now, because they are also attracted by paybacks, can be up to about 50% of the fine amount. OWS modification, I think maybe it is not more and before. So in US, I would like to address there is a task force which is operating, and they, other than the port state, the university inspectors, these people are regularly monitoring on information they get and the prosecution. Okay, now the cost of compliance. First to start with, we will discuss the stocks regulation. So this is already 3 years now, so we all are aware and we are quite settled now. I will not go challenges which is faced. And we do systems. Even today is a good choice, but it again comes with a lot of conditions which you will see. Modifying engines for alternate fuels. So LNG is already there, methanol is there. And there are a lot of white papers published for biofuel and it is still yet to come. And the training, again, investment in the training of pilots and also adds to the cost. So this I've taken from the Boston's consulting analysis, which was given in the early 2020. So the estimated increase of fuel cost to the industry was only the container liners they have taken, and it is $30 billion for the 3 years. And you can see year on year the growth demand and cost difference has come down now from what it was 10 to 12% in 2020, now 3 to 4%. This is the price spread between the fuel oils, LSFO and HSFO. When the regulation kicked in, before that it was in the range of $250 and it went up to $350. And later came down with all IMO support and industry awareness of making the fuel available and removing the non-compliant. There was even a ban of non-compliant fuel in March 2020. So the prices went down to the levels of $50. So that is the time the people who have installed exhaust gas turbines the benefit was not real. But now the later it increased and now it is stagnant in the levels of $150 to $170. So price volatility of the challenges, and there are also some technical problems with the lens, publicity and other things, and identification of cracks formation and also the compatibility issues. Financial impact to the industry, you can see this graph shows you the time charter equivalent compared with the spread of the fuel prices. In general, when you see, say, we start with the fuel price zero, and we have assumed a TCE of 10,000 tons. You can see how badly it gets affected with the increase in the spread has gone to negative 10,000 on the other side. So that time the ship which had exhaust gas covers and so you can see the price spread is the main critical factor in talking about the financial impact. The costs will end of the day will get passed on to the government. So at least the future regulation which is coming up with respect to decarbonization should be supplemented with which is already there. We are talking about the incentives, credit trading systems, which will be there. So exhaust gas scrubbers, we talk about $6 to $12 billion capital institution. So the problem is here again. There were some ports now don't have like the availability of HSFO itself is become a question now with the shift of fuels and maintenance cost and other systems are always there. And there is also a problem with the closed and the open loop system. Many ports does not allow open loop system. So there we incur an additional cost of using NGO. So that is also a problem. And if you see the benefit for a tanker vessel, it's not so clear. I can just say 300 days of use for a tanker vessel, you can get the benefit of installing a exhaust gas scrubber. Container ships for 11,000 TEU shown in the graph, you can see the profits will go up to $600,000 within that time, 300 days. And for other dead weight, it is really reducing. So next 2 years forecast, you can see in the gray area, taking $170 as the price spread. You can see for 4,250 TEU vessel, 161 days to recover the cost of installation. And for a tanker, like we discussed, it's about 100 days. So even today, the near-term choice is going to be the of course, alternate fuel are demand forecast. When we talk about the NOx regulations, we all know from 2016, North American Emission Control Area was Tier 3 compliance. Also demands for a Tier 3 compliance. So there are a lot of ships on it for the installation of the alternate technology. So again, there is an installation cost which is 2 times the capital cost of the equipment itself. Maintenance cost is assumed at 3%, and increased operating costs, again the fuel cost, and because ECI data we all know we are only 1.1%, and we also use the catalyst in the system, namely the urea, the cost incurred. So we just I have noted the analysis from a Chinese report, GZR Research Institute. So for capital expenditure, about $500,000, and the cost of urea, the catalyst cost, will be close to $1 million, considering the total lifetime of the vessel, 25 years. And the recharge catalyst cost of another $500,000, maintenance cost 150,000. So if you see the net increase or net expense on the owners is somewhere about $1.5 million. So this we are considered 1,500 hours in a year in ECA area. Next, when we assume the entire year non-compliant vessels to meet compliance to Tier 3 and trading in ECA area, in the NOx ECA area, and leadership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite Engineer S. Venkaraju, Committee Member of Marine Division of IATNSC, to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Sajid Kumar, IRS.
Good morning to all of you. It's my pleasure to introduce the next first speaker. Area manager. He started his career as a marine engineer with Seafarer from India and worked in YMCI and Gasco. And he was working as a chief engineer till 2008, member of Institution of Marine Engineers since 2004, joined IRS in Cochin in 2008, and worked in Colombo and Houston. Now in Chennai as a area manager from 2022 September. Welcome, sir.
And wish you all seafarers advance happy seafarers Day. My topic is actually this seafarers Day celebration. The topic is given market related, and seafarers now what is happening? So many pollutions now. Previously, very few pollutions were identified. So by seeing now, they are finding more and more what we call compliance and protection for environment and sea and environment. So see and the operation from cargo, that is usually VOC, paper cargoes, and you see sewage and garbage, and then accidental oil spills, and loss of cargo, and loss by accidents, and bilge and disposal and tanking water, and then emission from paint and ballast water also is a pollution causing environmental impact. So recently, you have to comply with our energy efficiency and all. So people are doing the hurricane work for complying with the speed and all. So there also now which is going to be there is a pollution aspect. So that is also some countries only now US and Canada and all, it is very strict thing like that. But other areas also it is going to happen. So my focus now I cannot take it from communities. So I'm just focusing on this recent amendment scheme so that everybody is aware, most of the people will be aware. But still give a so MBPC 76 adopted the amendments to Marpol Annexes. So it is a goal-based technical and operational measures to be carried out for complying with the new So revise so in order to, that is why the next 6 chapters revised, and the calculations also just 2023 onwards, it is in place. We will have a look what is there. So concept of EDI, EXI, similar to EDI, is an index reflecting the amount of CO2 emitted by the ship to the cargo. So basically, power multiplied by specific fuel consumption, what you are using, and the speed. So this is the concept of EXI, is how much impact we are giving to the environment. So going back to this one, proposed, what is the framework? Attain EDI or EXI. Suppose you are meeting the, you are attaining the EDI is less than the required EXI. Then you will get the International Energy Efficiency certification is complete. Suppose it is not met, so improvement is required. So how we can improve? There is some methods. You can limit the power. You can limit the power so that the required EXI is so attain the EXI is below the required EXI. Or you can implement some energy saving methods so that the values you are meeting the attained value below the required EXI. So this attained EXI is calculated for each ship, and each ship which has undergone the major conversion. But there are some ship types. So only these ship types will be this attained EXI is applicable. Bulk carrier, anchor, combination carrier, container ship, passenger ship, and gas carrier, general cargo ship, energy carrier, all these things. Deep types, offshore vessels, on the seas and on cover. So attend the EXI calculation basically it is not calculating all the fuels, mainly main engine and generator only. And if you have any innovative power recovery systems, then there will be a reduction during the calculation. So pre-EDI ships like before 1/1/2013. So those ships EXI technical file to be prepared, and attain EXI should be less than the required EXI. Ships building EDI between 1/1/2013 to 14, that is phase 0, and then phase 1/1/2015 to 2019. So here EAD technical file may be used. It can be used, and attained EDI may be considered as an EXI. But it should be demonstrated that it is less than or equal to the required EXI, which is based upon the phase 2 EED calculation for the ship type. So in the entire way, suppose that in energy efficiency certificate 9 point section will be not taken on. Same way, ships built EAD phase 2 and after 2020. So technical file may be used and file acting EEDI may be considered as an activity EXL. So same is here also, section 9.2. So most of the parameters, actually, if it is EDI calculation, what we are doing, same will be done for the EXL also. Mainly 75% of the MCR and 50% of the auxiliary power will be taken calculation. And suppose you don't have any SFC available, then calculation purpose 190 grams per kilowatt hour for managing and 215 grams kilowatt per hour will be taken as the value for your consumption. So for ships falling into the scope of EAD requirement, ship speed should be obtained from the approved speed curve. So where we are getting the requirement, it is coming from the speed curve, speed and power curve. During the model test and speed trials, where average EAD is done. So for ships not falling into the scope of EAD requirement, that is 2019, 2030, ships made 2030, the reference should be from this speed curve you have. Otherwise, you can take it from the data which is given in the previous slide can be taken. This value can be taken for the specific transmissions. So in case the speaker not available, speaker does not have this, we reference is approximated using the method using the EXC calculation technique. Approximate method on conservative settings. Some vessel may not be required in EXC. Suppose the vessel after calculation is not meeting the EXC values. So then we have to go for some alternative use. So accepted values generally taken from the NOx technical file. Ships constructed on or after 1st January 2000 will be having NOx technical file. For older ships, SFC specified manufacturer may be confirmed from the verified, may be used. So same thing, what I told again, that is same SFC 250 grams per kilowatt hour for managing, sorry, generator and 190 grams per kilowatt hour for managing will be taken for the calculation purpose. So for the purpose of what we call EXA compliance. So what we have to do is actually attain the EXA should be required less than the required EXA. So we may have to go for some plans like fitting an optimized microscope or draft uplifting, that is we have to which is at a EXA value less than the requirement. So these are the some of the methods shown in this. That is one method is the propeller you have to cone fins are there, and then decks are fitted. square fields are fitted. So these are the basic method to comply with the attained ESA. And there is another method of mode optimization. So verification of ESA shall be taken place. Should be taken place first annual survey. It should be after 1st January 2023. It has to comply with the ESA. So upon satisfactory completion of ESA, the National Energy Efficiency Certificate is issued to the vessel. So required ESA, how it is obtained is, sorry, attained ESA is how it is obtained is 1 minus y by 100 into that reference line value that is taken from the EEDA calculation. And that reference value is that is delivered, and these values are getting from the IMO the G1 stand the guidelines. From the guidelines, you will get the A and C values, where you can get the required ESA for a particular time option. So this is just a calculation is one reference taken. So A value taken from the guidelines, which is 1, 2, 8, 1, 8, and then B derivative, and then C is 0.488. So just a value taken from it. So NMPC certificate adopted amendments pertaining to phase timelines and reduction rates pertaining to required EVDA. So phase 3 start date is 1st January 2025 and reduction rate is 30%. For this, bulk carriers, tankers, refrigerated cargo ships, and combination carriers, ro-ro carriers, etc. For gas carriers, already that it has been report to 1st April 2020. So engine power regulation, so this is the method how we can come to attain ESA can be brought to below the ESA, required ESA. So that there should be an on management to be how so these are the options. Mechanically controlled engines, you can put a sealing device. So that they will say you have to reduce the power percentage by 70%. Or whatever it is. So that it has to be done by engineers. Or if it is an electronically controlled engine, that it can be locked by the direct limitation of power from the control system. So in case of any emergency, there should be a provision for power drive. So that is given to captain master and officer in watch keeping that has been given the power for right. checks during and verifying the EPL. So approved on-board management manual should be available. And then verification and compliance with respect to the approved on-board manual. And sealing device, whatever sealing device you have fitted, that has to be in place. And also same like electronic locking device, if it is there, it should be verified. It should be verified. So without a master or any watchkeeper permission, that we cannot do that. So basically, that's to be used only for the emergency. So where technically possible, feasible system should be controlled from the ship's bridge and require attendance in the mission displayed by ship's personnel in case of overloading. So another one is enhanced SAFE Part 3. Part 3 is that for SAFE 3 year you have implementation plan how to achieve the carbon intensity index and making from the top to bottom. To be able to, or this has to be done actually, SAFE Part 3 to be available by 1st January 2023. With the confirmation of compliance. So class is giving the confirmation of compliance after verification of this plan. SAFE Part 3 has to be given to the verifier or class so that they can verify your plan for compliance with the carbon intensity index, and then 3-year implementation plan has to be there. So suppose D-rating, yes, we get what we call proposal, corrective action plan for how to come up with the what we call compliance. Means you have to improve the system to reduce the carbon intensity. All these regulations related to this will be reviewed again by January 2026. SAFE Part 3 contains, so SAFE Part 3, what are the contents? So it is containing the carbon intensity index for next 3 years. Attain the CGI and other for the last 3 years. Calculation methodology on ships, attain the CGI and 3 years implementation plan. And another one is self-evaluation and so, and you have to have a plan of corrective actions in case of we are not coming to not required, but DNB requires a corrective action plan. So company audit, that is also there, SAFE Part 3 for implementation of Part 3. So it can be with sometimes it can be with the ISM audit also, but normally it should be separate. So that company will be audited basically for compliance. How we are carrying on monitoring the carbon intensity index. So that is for the 3-year plan. So every means after 6 months of implementation, only that audit will be carried out, and then every year that audit has to be carried out. And then if there is any problem, then the NC can contact, right? And then we have to make a corrective action plan. So CI is actually operational measure. It is an operational measure of ship's energy efficiency. It is same like EOI, same like EOI, but it is applicable for vessels more than 5,000 GT and above. So there is a reduction factor given. So 2023 it is 5% and 24 7%, 25, 9%, 11%. So this has to be added for the compliance with CIA. So there is what is saying the industry carbon density indicator rating. There are the ABCD, 5 ratings are there. Suppose you are calculating for a percent per carrier. You are calculating that it is 10 grams per kilogram. So it is you are making, say, you are what we call achieving around 9. That means that it is taken from the guidelines and that it is you are falling in the category B because N is the value CIA value as per the guidelines for that ship type, and then suppose you are achieving 9, then you can see that it is falling in the B grade. So what is the compliance applicability is that see part 1, everybody knows that it is 400 GP and above. And see part 2 also is 5,000 GP and above. And it has to be like IMO DC, you have to report the 3 CIA and it is applicable from 1st January 2023. And there is a ship type given in that. So which is not, if it is not falling in this category, it is not required. So attend ESL also same time. So it is applicable for the ship. It is calculated, threshold value calculated for the deadweight of the ship and speed and capacity. The amount of emissions carried out during the annual period. So this is my presentation. So I think it is very fast and very
Now I invite to introduce the next speaker, Captain Solomon, and it is a master.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Captain Samuel Solomon Ebenezer. He is a sailing master with Navy Motor. Captain Solomon, master mariner with a long-standing history of working at Navy Motor, an integrated logistic and supply chain organization. Captain Solomon's illustrious career started at Merck's in 2001 as a brake cadet. And over the next 15 years, he honed his skill and assumed command of Merck's Senator in the year 2016. While in command, he has demonstrated exemplary cross-cultural leadership and has mentored many women seafarers of various ranks. Having sailed for more than 20 years, Captain Solomon has been influential in creating an onboard workplace environment embodying the most values and helping the team on board build an inclusive and resilient system. Captain Solomon is skilled in vessel management, maritime operations, ISM code, leadership, and emergency preparedness. He has completed a diploma in nautical science from Singapore Polytechnics. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Captain Solomon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for the introduction, Captain Patia sir. I'm Saya, sailing as master in first line, and I'll not take too much time of yours, and I'll try to keep it as short and crisp as possible. I'm just here to talk about what we are doing in practice on board the ships with regards to pollution prevention. Yes, it's been 50 years since the MARPOL was introduced, and things have changed. We were worried about the big pollution spills, hundreds of thousands of tons and tens of thousands of tons of heavy fuel oil, to now we are concentrating on the smaller things as well. Pollution by sewage, pollution by garbage, pollution by actual pharmaceutical ingredients, which we release with the expired medicines, and also the ballast water pollution because of transmitting invasive species from one place to the other. And this is the future that we are looking forward to make sure that we do not affect the supply chain, the food chain, and the local ecosystem in every part of the world. The basic things from the MARPOL with prevention of oil pollution, we all know, and most of you have more experience than my age. And I do not want to go into details of all the things, all the technical aspects of it. So basically, on board, we are trained to deal with the emergencies. We are trained to make sure that the integrity of the pumps, valves, lines, the hull is in good condition, and they are taken care of at regular intervals, either through dry docking or through retrofitting or the regular maintenance, to make sure that there is no spills happening anywhere and we are not getting into a situation where we need to call external help. But in case of anything, we do have external people we can call for help, and we continue using them. And a lot of ships under our PNI clubs and our hull insurance, we need to have the extra insurance for pollution. Insurance for trade. Everyday basis, like I said, we make sure the integrity of the hull is there, and the systems are in place to ensure the pollution is minimized. Worst case, if there is a spill, we'll try to contain it on board. We are trained for that, and also in situations where it is necessary, we are called to assist in salvage and recovery where it is needed, or with helping of cleaning up of major spills. If we can't do either of it, we have enough ships going around to track the spills, or at least guide the cleaning team to make sure that the entire the classes, and in case it creates a much bigger impact for the vessel structure wise, the different various classes have come up with their own systems to help the vessel. Manuals for dealing with spills and pollutions caused by harmful substances and noxious substances. These are carried regularly on board. These are subject to checks during various inspections, various surveys and audits to make sure these are in good condition. Coming to the final points of what we have to look at for longer term are the ones regarding the garbage pollution. and pollution by sewage and the ballast water thing. So for garbage, it's also been emphasized in the last few decades about disposing of garbage. The port facilities have increased tremendously to take in as much garbage we are producing. The focus is now shifted from landing the garbage to minimizing the production of garbage on board using recyclable material. The materials that are used on board are now prioritized to use recyclable plastic, recyclable cardboards, and anything else that we can consider. And yes, it has a cost factor to it, but the more the companies are investing in the future for zero carbon emission, the more they are looking into these aspects as well. And also in segregations, a lot of companies and a lot of countries require that we segregate recyclable material and the non-recyclable material and land them separately, so it is easier for them to recycle as much as possible and reduce their landfills with things which are just going to take multiple years to degrade. We have all read and seen about the amount of nets, that is the fishing nets or the plastic that we recover from marine life. And it has gone to an alarming rate, but bringing down of those has been a priority. The ships are also called in to pull out any floating debris or at least report huge floating debris that is there. So there are teams there and organizations which are going to clean them up and make sure that we are getting into a little more cleaner seas than where we started. Coming to sewage pollution, yes, it's a very small thing that we see, but as long as there are people sailing on the ships, sewage is eventually going to be produced and it needs to be discharged. And this sewage does have a lot of nutrients which can create excessive growth of marine planktons. An excessive growth of planktons will lead to a higher density water or a thick layer of algae bloom, which will restrict the oxygen concentration in the water, which means it's going to kill out the fish. So smaller planktons will kill out the little bigger fishes, and then it goes down the food chain and reduces the amount of food that is going to be available for us. So we make sure that the sewage is treated. The process of treatment has changed considerably from just filtration to ultraviolet treatment or chemical treatment to make sure that the pathogens is not transferred from us into the sea and it doesn't affect the local biodiversity of a place or the ecological balance in a place. The advanced treatment systems that are in place include the activated carbon absorption, advanced oxidation process, and reduction of the pathogens through ultraviolet means. This is one of the ways in which we are reducing pollution from the vessels, which can have far-reaching consequences, including food scarcity. Just similar to what sewage can do to biodiversity, the same can be done by any medical waste we dispose. Let it be expired medicines, or let it be the cosmetic products we use, or even the cleaning products we use. The washed water that is being discharged into the sea has the potential to take away oxygen from the water, use the oxygen in a way that cannot be used by the marine ecosystem. And this is a serious problem, and this has been negated, or at least it's been trying to be negated by using various means of filtration. If that is not possible, we store them in separate tanks, and these sewage treatment holding tanks or wash water holding tanks. lot of ports are improving their facilities to make sure that these are being taken ashore by them and treated in a much advanced facility than what we can have on board, reducing the amount of inorganic or organically dangerous substances which we discharge into the sea. The ballast water convention is also make sure that we are not transferring invasive species to one part of the world. In many parts of the world, we already see and read about how the native species has been wiped out by crustaceans or mollusks from one part of the world to another part of the world. And this is being taken care of by having ballast water treatment systems on board. Previously, it was only about having ballast water exchange, where we exchange ballast water in the middle of the ocean to ensure that we're not transporting from one part of the world. But that still left us on board, where the tanks were still having some amount of residual microorganisms which were being transported from one part to the other. Now, what we are using are the ballast water treatment system. Again, different processes: ultraviolet, chemical treatment, filtration, activated carbon treatment, to make sure that the water that is coming into the ships in ballast tanks are treated even before they come into the ship. And they're also treated once again when they get out of the ship. All ships are eventually going to have these ballast water, all foreign oil ships are supposed to have these ballast water treatment systems to make sure that you're not transmitting these from one part of the world to the other. And yeah, these are what I'm talking or telling are just the regular things we do on a day-to-day basis, and I'm not really going to get into the technical details of how it is done and what is the process behind it. But it's just not to make our marine ecosystems worse than it has already got into, and make our own famine and create a situation where for the future generation is going to be even more difficult to find food or nutritious food, to be more specific. Apart from these, now with the introduction of the fuel, the sulfur cap on the fuel, the ships are being fitted with scrubber systems or exhaust gas cleaning systems, whether it be open loop, closed loop, or hybrid systems. This, yes, has reduced the amount of sulfur oxide that is being sent up in the air, but this has also caused another problem of bringing the sulfur from the air into the water. And this has the same effect of what I've been talking about, the destroying the marine ecosystem. Instead of polluting the air, we are creating a sediment pollution in the ocean. Systems are being developed, closed loop systems and containment systems on board. So the exhaust gas which is being washed down, this water is being held on board, or at least the sediments will be held on board and discharged at a shore facility for treatment or separation, or however the systems are being developed to deal with this. These scrubber systems, yes, they do reduce the sulfur oxides, but they still are still creating the same problem with the particulate matters and the nitrous oxide matters. We are still trying to find a way to address these systems. The engines are being developed in a way to reduce these emissions. Hybrid fuel engines are being created, and the fuel availability for these hybrid fuel engines are being ramped up at a large scale. There are several companies which are running CNG ships or LPG ships, ammonia ships, and whatever other fuel that is going to come. A lot of countries have their coasters running on electric propulsion. There are various other systems in development stages, including hydrogen propulsion, wind propulsion. The amount of these propellants replacing the fossil fuels is on the decline, is on the increase, and the amount of fossil fuel consumption is on the decrease, and the classification of ships based on their design and energy efficiency will bring further down the use of fossil fuels. These are all ways in which we are trying to make sure that the earth is getting cleaner, the temperatures are not going as high as possible, and we are leaving a brighter piece of rock floating in the space for our future generations. So that's what I wanted to say. I didn't want to take too much of time, and we will continue doing what we are doing with all your assistance and help to make sure that we are running a safe, effective ship and don't polluting the earth as well as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Pleasure, for the reassuring statement towards the end. Thank you so much. Can I request the speakers to please take the dice, stage here? We can have a question session. We are already behind schedule a little bit. So I request the questions to be short, specifically to the person that you're directing the question to. And I request Mr. Ramesh to please come over here, moderate the session, please, and try and keep it as short as possible. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Yeah, it's now afternoon for sure. And as we are running out of schedule, probably we have to keep it as short. And so we have these speakers. And I think I feel that the seafaring people who are here would definitely like to pose some questions to the chief guest also, because I think they look at it as a mentor, and we also opened up a few topics that you know interesting. So it's okay, I can take my question for the guest speaker also, because I think that will also be interesting. So anyway, let's start off. I think we have to be a bit organized to keep it short. So probably I will invite one question to Captain Sai. Otherwise, no, there will be a little bit of confusion. We don't mind. We keep it that way. So that everybody gets a chance. Normally, when we get into this session, we see one question directed at the same speaker, and we get into the first. So any question for Captain Sai who carried on with the operational aspects, and of course, I mean, it was a very interesting session. All three of you had really spoke very well, and your presentations were actually captivating for audience. Thank you so much. Any question for Captain Sai?
Everybody is agreeing.
Okay, so of course, any speaker who is here should not have obviously want to answer something. So I will probably ask him, as a ship operator, you saw that you have more and more challenges coming your way. Lesser and lesser people safe management down and down. Let's see that as a question. If somebody else has got anything else, please overrule my question and go one way. Since I have no questions are coming from Captain Sai, I am putting it from myself. Yeah, you have shown all these wonderful public issues and profiles strategies, and you know the people on board are reducing. How will you taking an operator trying to handle these challenges and with the short planning and stuff?
Thank you for the question, sir. That is the real challenge today. You said short planning and increased radiation. And more than the short planning, like I mentioned, it is the awareness and in par to the latest generation. That is the biggest challenge. So we try to alleviate by good training and stricter recruitment and hire process, and also frequent visits on the ship. We also hire third-party companies who go for audit more frequent than again. Now it is going to be extra burden on the seafarers, which they are facing more than the compliance. Answering the post-state control, there is series of third-party audits and inspections to prepare the vessel for the BSC. So, again, yes, there is a challenge, and we try to with these issues. I answer that.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Shankar, yeah, please.
But can you give any specific data on the criminal state of seafarer, which are the manager, with regard to the report, final report that has come out to say that yes, seafarer is report, but the final blame has to go to the manager, and if so, what the extent of fine that has been imposed?
The specific report I don't have right now, but yes, there have been cases where we have heard of seafarers jailed and the liability passed on to the managers, and there is even a blanket ban of the DOC vessels calling in port, especially in the United States. So I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but we all are quite aware of the things which has happened in the past. And there are also some serious pollution incidents which has passed jail sentence to seafarers, especially this case involving Indians. You know the case of AB Spirit in South Korea. So the master and the chief officer was jailed for 18 months, and there was serious tensions in the easy shipping and getting them back on. So otherwise, yes, there are specific incidents which I am not having the data right now.
I was wanting you to focus on the managers more than the seafarer. Whether the managers have been penalized.
Yes, not many times. Like my own experience, I would like to share. We had an incident where the Rotterdam BSE has found something deficiency which I'm not going to detail. And they have remarked that the managers have to make a closure or take this up in their office audit. So there was the DMV class, and that, of course, it was made on the manager during the office audit to close this and why that was led, where the system lacked. And yes, things are happening. This is very easy to say about 6 months back.
In other words, you say that seafarers can be jailed, but not a manager.
Corporate liability is complex. Yes, it is.
Okay, now the next question can be addressed to Mr. Sajid, who actually threatened us with all the rules which are going to come in force and which are already in force. And I think very soon we'll have a new rank on board, marine lawyer should be there, the same panel. So anyway, any question to Mr. Sajid, please, about Marpol and next 630 from class perspective? Yes, sir, please.
You killed my question by your last sentence. CII, is it practically workable?
Actually, the IMO has been doing research. They have been collecting the data for the past 2018 onwards. They are collecting the data, so they know that it is how it is going to be happen. And then, see, actually, CII is still it is not enforced completely. So this is 2013. It is starting. And we are, sorry, 2023 it is starting, 24, 25, 26, they will see how it behaves. Then only the next steps will be taken. So it is possible, sir, it is by 2050, there will be a 30% reduction, that is what the aim is. So, of course, that is every year, that actually they are reviewing in 2026. it will be reviewed again. What is the CIA has to be enforced, and how it can be regulated and all. So it is not a what they call it is same thing like gold based. It is a the EXI totally it is a gold based technique. Like they are checking and then finding whether any solutions can be done. So it is all for the protection of our environment. So yeah,
That's quite an ideal
yeah.
response.
Yeah.
CII from commercial perspective
Yeah,
is negative. Anything that is commercially sensible is against CII, right? In terms of dead weight, in terms of ballast distance. So when you're saying 40% reduction in intensity by 2050, that's what is there. 70% down in 20. The intensity down in
yes, 70% yes, and sorry 50%, 30% and 50%.
So that's the problem. That's
Carbon,
the emissions. I'm talking about
correct.
CII. Carbon intensity is 40% and 70%.
Yeah, correct.
So, just very generic question. I know, maybe not a specific answer to this. There are a lot of numbers, a lot of equations, a lot of formulas in there. Versus I mean, complex. Now, what I'm asking you is, when you go on board the ships for these kind of voyages, how good or how well the seafarers on board are aware of these or are actually compliant or they understand that the core of it all. The numbers are too complex. It's just a very general.
More of seafarer, actually company has to monitor basically. That is the basic idea because ships can give only not much things. They cannot improve. They are not deciding anything. So main decision is taken from the shore. Because sea part one, actually that is why for less than 5,000 GT ships, sea part is not mandatory. Only they are just sending the consumption whatever they are reporting to the flag. But above 5,000 GT and all, they say that there is a considerable impact on the environment. So the manuals are prepared by the manager. Basically, the manuals are prepared, and they have to annually review it. So they have to every month they have to review how it is, what is happening. So as far as seafarer is concerned, their contribution may be very less. Mainly, company has to monitor, and company has to suggest things on how you have to. So it is not only seafarer, but it is shore staff also. So company also responsible for it. That is it is same like DOC audit, same like DOC audit. There will be an audit, independent audit, for only for this compliance sea. So onboard is very limited. That is the thing.
Any other question or follow-up question? Thanks a lot. Both of them had tackled that tricky questions quite skillfully. So the last question, I mean not the last, the next question probably should be to address to Captain Solomon. As a seafarer, I think I'm sure there will be a lot of people who are particular voice mind. Yeah, our question. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Now I can say that on the Thank you very much. It's not a question, just to follow it up. Being a sailor as well as faculty. Regarding the food waste, you have nicely just briefed that. Actually, we also used to ask the hotel students So we try to minimize the food waste. Like they don't keep food waste bin for 3 days in a week. Like they are all doing it. Why can't we follow our ships also? No waste, no bin, no waste. Like that. Quantity also they are doing it. One more thing is to see the confluence of all instead of engineers, marine engineers are all same. The recent visit to thermal power plants regarding the biofouling. All the power plants they need a big quantity of water. So they are all still held up in this biofouling. Still they are not aware of our UV system actually. Still they are using the chlorine injection only. Most of the plants are still using. We had also so many seminars about the UV plant. So people can the institutes also can do the research. The students can also take the. There's a lot of money in UV realization because it can be. We have to test the real points. So any of our engineers.
Question food generation, right?
How to make this because very hard to say 40% of waste is going to space.
Let us have a specific question. That is,
No, this is the we have all the student cases. Anybody is running any UV installations, they will.
so basically, you have a fourth speaker. Okay. Okay. Is there any specific question from cabinet development from the sailing staff, financially, whatever by people who are from the sailing squad, sailing fleet, and you have a captain here, sailing captain who can probably really address your question. People who are going for class 2 ASM, all those people. Yes, sir.
Captain Solomon, having had a full career in Earth, can you highlight, tell me whether you have an in-house qualitative analysis of the quality of seafarers in your fleet, so that they come under the category A, B, C, so that they will know if they are such kind of officer, we have an excellent fit as in day-to-day operation.
That's a question. I'm sorry, it's a little bit ambiguous because I don't know what is category A, B, and C together.
If I have Captain Solomon on board my ship, I have an excellent ship under his guard where all the rules will be complied with, all the day-to-day procedures will be confirmed, and that I need not have too many concerns under his command.
We do have a performance appraisal system which keeps us a track record of who is who and what is their performance standards, and on an in-house basis and in a confidential manner, yes, the performances are kept, and there is a comparative thing between competence and capability of the person is maintained in-house.
But that cannot be shared in the industry. Is that correct?
That is for the must employees alone. You see, so it is not something that will be shared outside.
Suppose Captain Solomon decide to change from Earth to somewhere. Or directors will they give you the certificate?
To be honest, no, so they will not give the certification because that is for them employing us on must. So that is for their in-house use only. At best, they will give us a letter saying that I worked with them for so and so years and at a service.
You know why I asked you? So that this will enable general improvement across the industry.
That should be an industry-wide, I mean, this is off topic when you're talking about Marmol, but this should be an industry-wide change in how the performance system is being, performance evaluation is being done for all crew and well, all companies have their own appraisal systems and their benchmark systems, which I'm sure all companies keep it to themselves because if it goes out, there are legal implications for that.
Only bad guys are select. One company to other company, whoever is bad, only bad is
I would like to stay away from that controversy for now.
Okay, gentlemen, any other specific question? We thought that we want very time for us to wind up. So, any question which our seafaring participants want to ask the chief guest? Of course, he come here. Of course, we have a question. If he doesn't mind. Is there any specific question which he would like to, which you would like him to answer? I got he was talking a lot of things which were more veterinary in nature, so I thought anybody from the, if it is nothing, it's fine. Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I just want to throw some light on this new treaty,
Which new treaty you're talking about?
at biodiversity beyond natural jurisdiction.
Or you're talking about high seas? It's not the right forum to do that. It's still in the initial phases. And if you want, I can circulate a nice presentation, a small presentation by the people who put this high seas treaty. It's not in place, it is just in discussed in a way that the implementation would become much later.
Yeah, the context is with respect to procedure. I'm discussing that context.
I would request you to expand more on that.
The treaty is already coming in place because it is ratified by 163 countries.
When was that?
March 5th.
I am not very sure whether it has been ratified, but I will check.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
what
yeah.
would be the effect on the situation?
Exactly, that is my question.
Good, so we keep it for the next presentation. We keep it for the next presentation, but I think it is high time that we had the high seas treaty. It is very, very high time because of this biodiversity requirements. Can anyone tell me here that when did it all start? What was the triggering point of this Paris water exchange before the Paris water treaty? Anyone who sailed on the Great Lake ships, Lakers? Anyone who sailed on Lakers there? Yes, sir. Yeah. So did you find that time what used to happen? Oh yes, sir. No gas on the table at all in our time. I was there for 8 years. So what happened during these days? See, I sailed on those ships. This is in mid-80s to mid-80s. And these Lakers, Darya Maan, Darya Kamal would go in there. And then those days, no posted control per se, but masters will come and the discussions will happen. That their water intake into their power plants, those suction pipes will keep getting fouled. Because if you remember, when on the hull itself, when you have barnacles or the growth, the moment it enters into fresh water, it falls off. Then the biodiversity in that area will get affected, and we will start having the barnacles growing up in those pipelines. So that was a bit of starting point why. And then you had issues in Australia, the Great Barrier Reef. So these were the two major reasons to have biodiversity. But the human biodiversity is no problem at all. Yeah, any of the seafarers? I didn't expect a teacher to ask me this difficult question about high seas treaty. But it's quite an interesting treaty. But as far as my understanding is concerned, the adoption is still not done by most of the countries and it is still not in place. That's my understanding. But I will I'll read more about it. I'll take your word for the time being, but I doubt that the high seas treaty in the world if things could move so fast with tacit acceptance that. My dear seafarers, anything, I'm very hungry. Me too.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks for being interactive and posing questions to the speaker. I think it's time for us, all of us are looking eagerly forward for the lunch, which is already cold probably. Yeah, I can please, next, yeah.
It's time to honor our chief guest and speakers. Now I invite Engineer S. Kannan sir to honor our chief guest, Sri Janmal Mata IIM Chair. Now I request Engineer Sanjeev S. Vakil, Chairman IAMEA, Chennai branch to honor our speaker, Captain Solomon Ebenezer, Master. I request Sanjeev Vakil sir to honor Captain Sai Dinesh, Marine Superintendent, Marine Private. Thank you, sir. Now I request Captain Ajay Gangadharan, Chairman CMMI Chennai Chapter to honor the guest speaker, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar IRS. I request to honor the moderator, Captain G. Ganesham, Secretary of CMMI Chennai Chapter, by Ajay Gangadharan. Now I request Engineer K. Sivaraju, Honorary Secretary of IAENSC, to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of the Institute of India, Tamil Nadu State Center, I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. David Makar, IME, Indian Maritime University, for your presence and delivering motivational and inspiring speech on the team, Seafarers, all four of the marine government. We really appreciate you, sir, for taking out time to your busy schedule and honoring the gathering by your presence. I express my gratitude on behalf of everyone to Engineer Sanjeev is working, Chairman, IEDI, Captain Ajay Bangaladesh, Chairman, CMI, Chennai Chapter, Captain Ramesh Sham, Secretary, CMN, I am Chennai Chapter, Chennai. Respected speakers, Captain Salman, Ebenezer, Master Maxwell, Captain Sai Dinesh, Superintendent Desak Melo, Medical Trade Secretary, Sanjeev Kumar, IRS. It is my appeal to all marine engineers here in our marine engineering division of Institute of Engineering India. Our membership is very low. Kindly enroll as a member of IEA for benefit of engineering. It's my appeal and because I thank our chairman, Engineer Nalan sir, who placed this present and support. Also, my thanks to our staff for their support and arrangements for successful completion of this International Day of the Seafarers to 2023. I thank each and every one of you for being here and making this event grand success, and wish everyone continue inspire the youth of country at Parliament and supporting and guiding the engineers in the right direction, which will make our country proud globally. Thanks. Thanks again. Jai Hind.
National anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जयति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जय गण मंगल दायक जय हे पालक भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की जय।